featuring artists that you should know about. And today we're heading to Nashville to chat with the band Wayland. Wayland, they've been one of the hardest working bands the last decade. They started out as the house band at the Whiskey A Go-Go in L.A. They've toured all over the country, and now they're located in Nashville doing the country music thing. We're excited to have Mitch and Phil from Wayland on the show. First, guys, thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, thanks, Jeff.
Good
Happy
morning.
to be here, man. Good morning.
Yeah, they're hanging out on Zoom right now in Nashville, which is awesome. But, boy, what's happening right now? Tell us, how did this transition start? Because you guys are like floating in the rock and country world right now. How did the transition go now that you're doing country music?
You know, it was kind of Mitch and I, we've always started playing, all of our songs start acoustic, and acoustic music is like, it's really important to us. My dad plays bluegrass music. And so as we got into rock and we started, doing the radio thing, we're playing at all these festivals, we did notice that rock got so heavy as time went on that we didn't really fit in the format as much. And at the same time, the line between rock and country just got grayer and grayer. And so as you're looking for a home for our music, during the pandemic, we ended up in Joshua Tree, California, and we built a studio, and we just started recording music without any expectations of that music. It was just kind of more for us than anything. And when the record got done, I sent it out to some trusted friends in radio, and it was just like this overwhelming response of, guys, this is great. This will never be released to rock. This is a country record. And I was like, what?
Tell them before that, people have been telling us for years that we were too country for rock.
Like when Bloody Sun, like for instance, when Get a Little came out in 2015, Capitol Records called our manager at the time and offered us a record deal as a country band.
Wow.
And then when Bloody Sunrise came out, it got to like number 24 on the active rock charts. And everyone over at Sirius XM and iHeartRadio said this is a country song, it's not a rock song. And so we've been hearing that over and over again for years, and we have been riding this line. I mean, it's so funny, we recently had a song go viral on TikTok, which is a song called Indiana Jones we put out in 2019. It went to number 2 on the rock charts last month, but the song is an acoustic song with pedal steel all over it. It's totally a country song,
Yeah, which is crazy because you mentioned Indiana Jones, which we just played it. We've been playing it the last week too. When you guys mentioned it, I was like, I've heard this song. And yeah, this song's like 4 or 5 years old, and all of a sudden TikTok brings it back, which is crazy because you guys have worked so hard, and then a stupid TikTok plays your song and it blows up. Can you believe? There's no rhyme or reason to the music world at all right now, right?
It really isn't. But it was a miracle that it happened.
It really was.
It's opened us up to an audience. Like, it literally changed our lives over the last month. We've made like almost 30,000 fans in the last 3 weeks. And
wow.
They're new to the band. They're diving back into all of our old material. And it's like a whole new community of people. It's incredible.
Yeah. Well, what did you guys think when COVID hit? I mean, you were in Nashville, so it's probably a little better. But working so hard.
We were in the RV park. Actually.
Were you still at the RV park?
Yeah, we had just we toured 300 days a year for 7 years straight, and which drove our band insane, and everybody pretty much freaked out. And we had driven out to Los Angeles in our tour bus to make a record with Keith Nelson from Buck Cherry, and didn't know where to park it. Ended up in this RV park and really didn't know what we were going to do. We were like free. We just done the Kiss cruise, the Bon Jovi cruise. And on the Bon Jovi cruise, we met this celebrity dentist, and he had invited us to come play his birthday party. It's like March 12th of 2020, which is the weekend that COVID happened. So we flew over to Boca Raton, Florida, played this guy's party, and then while we were there, everything shut down. And he's like, why don't you just stay with me instead of going back to the RV park, Stay a couple more days. Let's see what happens. Well, we ended up staying at his place for 40 days.
40 days and 40 nights.
in Boca Raton. We just, the only thing we really knew how to do was to connect with our fan base. So we just went live every single day. We made it the Quarantine Concert Series, and we put merch out, and we just gave people something to look forward to every day,
Yeah, well, it's was there ever a time when you guys were like, this is it? We're never going to get going again?
There's been many times like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so like after that we went back to Los Angeles and we moved out to the desert to Joshua Tree, and we started writing music. But we weren't really sure what was going to happen. We just knew we have the time and the space. We might as well make some music because that's what we do. But we weren't really sure how we were going to get going again. I mean, I would say, in some aspects we still haven't recovered because, I've booked us all those dates, like 300 days a year, or whatever it was. So I've always booking contacts. But during COVID, a lot of promoters and those mid-level venues shut down.
No. And now they're all gone. You two met in L.A. You're Midwest guys. Can you believe you're still together? I mean, you guys are like a married couple. I mean, you've been together more than a married couple. And you guys are like best friends. Is there ever a hiccup? Do you guys argue? I mean, how does it work?
Yeah, man, I think that's one of the beauties about it is that we have had arguments and that we've had differences and we've had differences in opinion and all that kind of stuff. And, I feel like we've used love to keep us. That sounds cheesy, but it's like love will find a way, man, and it always has.
Yeah, I mean, we met when we were 18 years old, and we've been doing this a long time, and we've gone through so much stuff with girlfriends and band members and managers and all kinds of crap. And it's like you have to respect the fact that we have this thing that we love to do together that, and there's been times that we've looked at each other and said, are we going to still do this? And it's always the day that we get some message or letter from somebody saying how our music changed their life or helped them through a bad time or whatever. And that's really why we're still doing it, is because we're seeing it affect people. If it wasn't, we probably wouldn't do it.
It's so much bigger. It's so much bigger than us, our feelings, and everything that we have going on,
Yeah. Well, and you guys have made it work. How does it work when you're writing? Because you both write songs. You both are very involved in the writing process. Do we take turns? Does somebody have an idea? Do we bounce ideas off each other? How?
Yeah, sometimes people, one of us comes in with an idea, but also it can start with a conversation too.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you thinking about today? Or what, or this, hey, I've been, this thing's been bothering me, or I had this memory, or, it can start anywhere, and we just kind of go with it and go down that path and see what we get.
Yeah, well, and you guys have done a lot of co-writing. I mean, you obviously enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we had never really done. I mean, to this extent. Yeah. But, in Nashville, it's like every time you go out to the bar or something, you mean someone that wants to write a song tomorrow. Which is it's amazing here. Like, everybody's a songwriter. Everyone's a producer. This is like, it's an epicenter for us. We love the music community here.
Yeah, we're chatting with Mitch and Phil from Wayland. Go check them out, waylandtheband.com. They're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. They're everywhere. Go to YouTube, watch their other stuff. Summer to Me is their latest single. And also, we mentioned Indiana Jones. Go check that out. You guys were in Buffalo like a month or two ago at the TA Ranch with your buddy Guy Fieri. Tell us first, how did we meet Guy? Tell us this story. This is funny.
We were playing a bar in Nashville. It was a show, but we didn't advertise it at all. We were trying out a new drummer. So it was like 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night in an empty bar.
It was 10:30. The show time was 10:30. Wow. And I remember thinking, man, this is late, but we weren't planning on anyone being there.
And his production crew just happened to be the only people in the bar. And they didn't talk to us that night or anything. We did it. And then Mitch ran into him at a Thai place the next day.
Yeah.
And they're like, Wayland, we saw you last night. Come on the show, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives tomorrow. And we went on. Guy wasn't there, but we got to know his crew, and they just really, they just fell in love with the band. And we have to get you in front of Guy. He is going to love you. So he had been invited to Bonnaroo by Stevie Nicks, like this fast forward 6 months. And his crew was just driving him nuts about seeing the band. Like, you got to see Wayland. And they set this show up for us to play at Martin's Barbecue here in town for the season finale of Guy's All-American Roadshow. And they got him to cancel going to Bonnaroo and come do this thing and see Wayland. And we were on maybe our third song of the night, and he came running up on stage, got us in a huddle, and was like, this is my new favorite band. How can I help? Why don't I know about it? Yeah. We drank his tequila and smoked cigars till 3 a.m., and we've been friends ever since. So he's a pretty amazing person.
True blue, man, for sure.
Yeah, and it's pretty awesome because you guys are appearing in some episodes. I know you've taped some, so you're going to be on future episodes. What'd you think of the TA Ranch in Buffalo, Wyoming?
Buffalo's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, the TA Ranch was like nothing we'd ever been.
It was incredible.
They took such good care of us. I mean, the meals were amazing, and just like we stayed there, you know, we got to hear about all the battle that went down there, the hauntings. Like,
Yeah, the Johnson County Cattle War.
We woke up early one morning and all the horses were loose.
Yeah.
And all, it's mainly girls that work the ranch. So these cowgirls are on horses rallying the other horses, and it
was mind-blowing for us.
Really
it was
cool,
incredible.
man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys mentioned playing the gig in Nashville that you didn't think anyone was going to be there. I mean, if you go to their Facebook page or their Instagram, anywhere, you guys are practicing all the time.
Yeah.
Do we have to play live? I mean, do we just have the itch? Do we have to play every day? I mean, are we playing in Nashville where no one knows you're actually playing? What?
No, we don't play in Nashville every day. Like we rehearse this. I don't know. You can see this is our rehearsal studio that we're in right now. We rehearse every day and work on our music because we do like to do it. But we only play in Nashville about once every 2 months or something.
Yeah, but you guys are rehearsing every day. I mean, you guys are so tight right now. Is this the tightest the band's ever been?
Yes, absolutely. Hands down.
The last batch of shows we did Rockford, Illinois, Dubuque, Iowa, and then came back and did a show here in Nashville. And then it absolutely, at the end of it, I was like, this is the best band I've ever been in. This lineup and this, just the way we're all playing together, it's such another level. At least for me, I'm able to be a part of it in a different way than I ever have. Like just the listening, and it's a very musical band right now.
Yeah, they're sounding great. If you can, go and see them. Wayland, go check them out, waylandtheband.com. Do we have any idea how many songs you two have written?
Oh, my gosh. No.
I mean, in the last year, it's somewhere around like 80, 85, something like that. We're trying to put together a record, and we're sorting through about 40 songs.
Yeah, because there's got to be gems out there that have never seen the light of day.
Yeah,
I would say so. Absolutely.
Well, it's pretty cool. So we have so many songs. We're going to start kind of teasing them on TikTok and actually letting our followers help choose what's going on this record.
Well, that's what I mean. Some of the rehearsal songs, it's like, well, here's this song. Should this be on our next album? I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty special to have like that kind of interaction. Pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned you guys before we came on the air. Too Soon to Say Goodbye is our Friday closing song. Tell us a little bit about the song, because I love this song.
We wrote that song. A friend reached out and said, you guys have written so many songs that make me feel happy, that lets me celebrate life and all this kind of stuff. And they were going through a hard time, and she had just lost her brother. And she said, I wish that there was a song that I could listen to, while I was trying to say goodbye, trying to get over somebody that I lost. And so we went into this write. I lost my dad when I was 14 years old to a car accident. And sitting in the write with the people that we were writing with, we'd all lost somebody really close, and everybody knows that feeling. And we went in to write a song about, how tough it is to say goodbye.
Yeah, we were hoping to come out with something that, would help people heal, would help people get through a time like that. And like Mitch said, like a song that it's okay to cry to. It's okay to say, I'm not ready to say goodbye, what's funny is we actually wrote that on Zoom, sitting right here in these exact places.
That's true, yeah.
Wow, that's cool. Well, and it's a rocking enough where it's like a rocking song, but then it's in the country charts. So it's right, and it's a very emotional song, but it's a rocking song. I love this song. It's a great song, guys.
That's the first song that I ever produced that got released by our band, actually. Really? Well, way to go, Phil. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. It's exciting. We recorded over at Spotify Studios here in town. It was an amazing process, I guess, as a band. I mean, do you guys pinch yourself sometimes? All the hard work. I mean, you toured constantly for 6 years. You guys know Shinedown. Jesse James Dupree was like your manager. 7 years. Yeah, Mitch says 7 years. Lifehouse liked you. You were on the KISS cruise, the Bon Jovi cruise. Can you believe it sometimes? And then also you're thinking, well, when the hell are we going to make it at the same time? Yeah, I mean, and that's like
you nailed it right on the head.
That's the balance of all of it. It's like, dude, why are we still stressed about how we're going to pay rent? Like, you miss that,
Yeah, because you want to keep that appreciation, because it is incredible that we're still around. It is incredible that we have this amazing fan base. It is incredible that we're writing these amazing songs and all of the above. And at the same time, we are wondering when our next dollar is going to come in so that we're able to keep going. And it always happens because it provides for us, but it's nothing short of very stressful. And I would love to have that stress alleviated, so that we can just free up and
just not be in survival.
Yeah.
That would be really fun for the first time in 20 years.
Yeah. So yes, super grateful for the success that we're having, that we've had, and we are looking to turn that corner so that we can give this fan base the people and the music that they are looking for.
Yeah, because all the success, people see you guys and like, they're millionaires. No, they were living in an RV park in LA, and now who knows where they're living at in Nashville. Where's your practice space, though? Is there like rows of practice spaces in Nashville for everybody?
This is our home. We all live here.
Yeah,
really?
So we've got a house, and it's like a 4-bedroom house, and we got a backyard, and this is the garage. A buddy of mine flew out from Denver, Colorado, and built this soundproof room within the garage so that we can rehearse here.
Nice.
Our landlord does not know that. So.
Hopefully he doesn't drop in unexpectedly someday. My niece just texted me. Her husband lost her brother in a tragic accident like a year ago, and they said that Too Soon to Say Goodbye has helped them a lot with losing Seth. She loves the song. So there you go, guys.
Amazing.
That's exactly why we do this.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. Well, so Nashville, you can throw a rock and hit a musician. Who's the drummer? We never know who the hell the drummer is in Wayland. Who's the drummer right now?
You know what? We kind of made a decision over the last few years that's like, with the age we're at, we're 40 years old, and just as people grow up, obviously they get wives, they get kids, people are pulled in different directions, and we just had to kind of realize that, like, Mitch and I are the band, and we're, this is our baby, this is our thing,
and nobody's going to care as much as we do.
Yeah, so it's too much pressure for us to put that on somebody. Like, you are now the drummer in Wayland when everyone has so much going on. And like you said, there's so many musicians here. So for us, it makes sense to take a little chunk of time, whether that be a tour or whether that be a record, find the best musicians we can to support the songs that we've written and to go out there and play it. So we decided to keep the rest of the band kind of like a hired gun situation while, we're the band. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, and Joey's been around a little while, but you went through a few bass players as well. But yeah, it's Phil and Mitch. They're Wayland.
Absolutely. Yeah, because, and you bring up Joey, it's a great point. We love him with all of our hearts. He also has a 6-year-old son in Los Angeles. So, like, we, as a band, I can't keep this guy across the country from his son. He needs to go be with his... And at the same time, the people that are invested in our band need the music to keep going as well. So that's our responsibility to our listeners, is to make sure that the music is as best as it can be and that it's consistent.
Yeah. Well, and Mitch, your hair's a little shorter right now. You went back and forth here. When you cut it a few years back, it was like you rocked the world when you cut your hair off.
It was definitely split. And people at the merch table don't shy away from it. They're either like, "Oh my God, I love your hair," or "Oh, I wish you still had long hair." They just do not have a filter on it. We are like action figures, and they want their figure, their version to be that. I was kind of pushed in this direction, and I'm so happy that I went this way. I love my hair right now. So
that's good. It looks good. You're looking good. So
I appreciate that.
That's good. And Phil,
I'm going in tomorrow.
You're going in tomorrow to get a cut?
Yeah, it's time.
Uh-oh. Well, and you need like a real cowboy hat. I don't know what this hat that you're wearing. It's too flat or something.
Not this one. The big hats that he wears, I love. I think it's so cool. One thing about Phil that through all the years is that he's always been this like incredible rock star, even to me. And just watching him wake up in the morning and do his thing, it's like there's nothing not rock star about him. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and he always looks good on stage.
Always. Yeah, it's frustrating, man. I'm always rushing to keep up. That's why I got my haircut.
You guys are awesome. Go and support them. Wayland, go and support them. WaylandTheBand.com. If they're out anywhere, go and see them. Go follow them. Go like them. And go become a Wayland warrior. You guys doing, how's the podcast going? Everything still in motion?
Podcast is great. Like I said, our world is really TikTok right now. If you follow the band on TikTok, we go live every single day. We're posting stories all day long, taking you through a day in the life every day of our world. So follow us on TikTok, subscribe to us on TikTok, be a part of that because, like I said, we're doing TikTok requests live. People just get on and request cover songs. They request our oldest songs, our new songs, and we just play them right then and there. And it's not always pretty.
They're very interactive, yeah, and I love it when they come on. They'll even know who you are sometimes. Phil will be like, "Oh, hey, Susan. Oh, hey, Jimmy."
We're trying, man.
It's fun, man. It's a community. It's real.
Yeah, it's great. I just forgot what I was going to. Well, but you guys were storytellers, and I think that's why you kind of fit country music. And right now, country's so wide open that.
I mean, country. When you look at it, country is home of rock and roll, and we are rock and roll to the bone. You couldn't take it out of our blood.
Yeah,
that's why this is a good home.
But we do, like the storytelling and just like, you can follow the lineage to American roots music, and that's some of our favorite music. Like I said, my dad raised me on bluegrass. I'm from Michigan, which being so close to Chicago blues is a huge part of my life and my musical dialogue. And so to me, it's just like it's a straight path, I guess, back to the roots. That's what's really important to me.
Yeah, well, go and follow them. Keep your eye on them. Wayland, the band, has got more text messages. They love you guys. So, way to go.
Thank you guys. For everyone listening out there, thank you so much for the support and for being behind us. It means the world to us.
Yeah, Mitch and Phil, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and I'd love to do it again. We could talk for another half hour.
Anytime, man, anytime.
Here it is, Summer to Me, another great song that we could talk about. But Summer to Me, Wayland, go follow them. It's KIX 96.5.